What's up, everybody? My name is Ethan, Pace Brother Reviews here. I'm excited about a new pedal today that I got in. I was excited to review it. I didn't know what it was going to be. It's the Boss GT-1. It's the smaller unit. They have both a Boss GT-100 and now they have a GT-1000. I think about 2-3 years ago they came out with the GT-1. So I have a full-size pedal board, and then like a year ago, 2 years ago, I cut back to like a small pedal board with just like 2 pedals and then the HS effects on it from Helix line. And now I was like, you know, I want to try something else. Maybe a backup board for somebody else. I play at church a lot, so maybe somebody else could use it if they don't have a pedal board. And I gotta say, messing with this thing, I'm really impressed. The layout is much better than the HX effects or the HX Stomp. I've had went through both of them before, so it's much better layout. The overdrives on it, to me, and of course we'll go through those, are much better sounding than what the HX effects offers. I feel like those aren't really, they're not really, I don't want to say great, they're just not usable to me. The overdrives are just a little wonky on the HX effects. It sounds very digital. Where this one, I don't feel like, it's a Boss pedal, it doesn't really sound digital. It feels like Boss got the overdrives right on this. And it's a small pedal platform. It's like, I want to say it's like 14 inches maybe wide by probably like 6 inches. It's pretty small. You could throw that in any case. You could throw it in your carry-on if you were going somewhere. You could throw it in your gig bag, guitar gig bag. It's really portable. I'm really impressed with it as far as portability goes. I will say it doesn't come with an AC adapter. I highly suggest you get one. Mine's still on the way through the mail. So I've got batteries in it. So we're going to use batteries for now. First my clean tone, right? That's what you're supposed to say. So this is my clean tone. I got a Kosh twin tone 2. Great amp. Don't got the money for the 3 yet, so maybe one day. So that's the clean tone. The only thing I have on is reverb to cover up my terrible playing through the Boss right now, GT-1. Don't mistake this for the GT-01. That came out several years ago. It's not great. So this is kind of a new thing. I think it's 3 years old, maybe, this pedal. Not this particular one, but they came out about 3 years ago. We'll start out just some basic effects. You can run this through a PA. We'll go through that first. You can run this, you can run this through a PA system. I don't recommend it. I tried it. I didn't like it. So I'm going to run it through a tube amp. I would say that's a great platform if you have like an amp, maybe even a practice amp. You can run it straight through a PA system. I just didn't like the sound of those. I didn't have like the sounds it offered straight through a PA. And I just fooled around for a little bit, so I'm sure if you really mess around with it, you could get some good sounds. But what I'm going for is just a small pedal board in front of the amp. I wanted to see if it was useful in that area. And I gotta say, I'm really impressed. It really is. So let's go through some tones. You heard my clean one more time? All right, here is the Tweed preamp they have on board. So first, the amp. It's just clean. I have the amp set pretty clean. Just so you can get a good feel for what it actually sounds like. It's pretty good. It sounds, you know, I don't never owned a Tweed, like the original Tweeds, but I imagine it sounds pretty close from the ones I've heard before. it's good. That's great. That's good. Like it didn't take me. I just got this maybe 2 hours ago. I set it up for like 30 minutes. I've got like 8 presets to go through. It was super easy. Like you just you hit the buttons on the actual board. Excuse me while this buzzes. So you hit the presets on the board. It has your first effects, which is like compressors, modulation if you want it. The second effect is OD, distortion. It has overdrives on it, and we'll go through that in a second. And then it has preamps. It has like amps you can pick, the like modeling kind of. And it has some good ones. It has some bad ones, but that's how it is. It's your own flavor. Maybe somebody likes the Mesa setup on here, but I just don't like it. But I like a lot of others. It's very usable. Surprisingly, I didn't know what I was going to get. I just took a chance on this. I knew that the Boss GT-100s were pretty good, and I know the 1000s are great. I've heard a lot of good reviews. So I went over this one. Again, preamp section. The effects, you have a second effect, modulation. You can do chorus, flanger, whatever you want. Delay. You can also set another secondary delay with one of the other effects. So if you want to do that, get that really washy sound. Reverb, really good reverb, I gotta say. Delays are great too. I'm actually impressed with the effects on it as far as wet effects. They're pretty good. I don't want to say they're as good as Helix or the HX effects, but they're close. I would say the functionality of this and changing it is so much easier that I could make those work, and I wouldn't really miss too much of the HX effects. So the menu is easy to go through, and then you can save whatever you want, whatever you created. Make sure you do that before you hit the first knob, because about 3 times I was setting something up and just went scrolling without saving, and then I had to redo it. But it wasn't that big a deal, but just make sure you don't do that. So we'll go to another setting. I've got several settings on here. So that's the tweed. I've got like a natural clean, which is like the jazz chorus, little delay and reverb on there, but that's the jazz chorus from Roland. Of course, Boss is a sister company, so it's a really good effect on here. It's very clean. So let's go over what my amp sounds like without any effects on it. And now I'm going to put all those effects back in. I mean, that's pretty impressive. This is a $200 pedal if you bought it brand new. And I've seen them as low as $120 used online. So I'm telling you, this is a great deal. Like, this is a good pedal. I would feel comfortable taking this with me. I have big rigs, you know, like the big pedal boards with nice pedals, analog, and, you know, all those things. I'm not going to go through them, but my point is I would feel comfortable using this over that. I'm not saying I would prefer it, but it would be functional. If you just wanted to buy this, somebody starting out, even if you're going direct, this is a great pedal. Like, honestly, now that I've got this, it has a volume on it. The HX Effects doesn't come with that, and you're not touching a Helix for under, you know, $1,200 used, or $1,000 now. So I'm really impressed with it. I got this one, I think, set with chorus. Good stuff, man. Sorry about that, my cable keeps going out. Ugh. When you're sitting on the couch sometimes it just smacks it. That's a very like 80s pop sound I got going there, but it's clean. You can hear how clean that is. Now you can set it up a little dirty. It has a lot of, I'll go over those in a second. I got like a Van Halen set up here. Little flame. And that is on the, like, I guess it's their JCM 800 setup. It's pretty good too. This is just the JCM 800 with a little reverb on it. I wanted to show how that sounded. I mean, it's very usable. We'll take all the effects off once again. That's just the amp. Here it is. Oh yeah, man, that's good stuff. Sometimes I start a lick and I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know. But you can tell it sounds good through my mediocre playing. That's a little bit more, high gain setup, but it sounds good. Like, it's very usable. Yep. We're gonna go to, this is a clean drive. I got it set. It says Marshall 1959, so you take your pick on which amp that would be. My guess is the GT-1 That's pretty smooth. I like it. It's probably my favorite one. See, it's good. So let's see, do I have anything? I got several of them. So we're gonna go to one I had preset. If you're a worship guitarist, like I am occasionally, on the weekends, I've got like a really modulated delay, a little modulated reverb on it. And if you're a fan of the Boss products, it's pretty much those pedals that you really like from Boss, the DD20. I mean, Boss has put out a lot of great stuff. They put out the reverb, the RV500. They have that. I think there's an RV200 now and a DD200, but they're all great. People that have known they've used them, they sound amazing. So here's just a sample of like a clean jazz chorus preamp on this one, and then delay and reverb. That's butter, man. It's good. I mean, that's very usable. I'm very impressed with like such what you would call a cheap unit. It's really good. I'm very happy with it. That's about all the tones I'm going to show off now. There's a bunch. You know what? Before I go, I'll show. There are some like heavier stuff on here. If you're into that, I want to make sure I show it, because I'm not exactly a metal guy if you can't tell by my playing. But they have like I'm guessing it's let's see, it's called a high gain stack. So take what that it's supposed to be like a half stack. big head or maybe 100 watts. Not my cup of tea, but it's on there. If you like it, you know, that's something you're interested in, it has it. I would highly recommend this if you're starting out, or maybe you just don't have the money for a pedal board. Because I wish I had this starting out. I think I got a pod, the floor pod, and that's good. It was good. It worked, but this thing would blow that out of the water. This is pretty good for like $200. I don't know what else is out there that you could. I know there's the fly rig, and that's pretty good. But it doesn't have the presets like you can do on this with the fly rig. You kind of just set that and go. And it's good, it's all analog, but it doesn't have the features this has. This has a volume pedal, so you can swell, if you're into that. You know, you can swell, or it has a wah on it. I'll show you that too. The wah is really good. Yeah, I can't really do it without my foot. You get the effect though. I mean, it's. See if I can reverse that. Anyway, you get the feel of it. It's a good pedal board for like a modeling type pedal board. The effects are really usable. They surprised me. I figured there'd be like one or two effects you could use. I kind of was like, you know, I'll have this just in case somebody comes in and they don't have a pedal board. Then I can provide this and be like, hey, I got a pedal board for you. But it turns out, I mean, I may be using this every once in a while. I really like it. There's so much on here. It has Univibe on it, so I was down in like some Jimi Hendrix type stuff. And then, I mean, there's so many features on it. There's so many effects. Much easier to do. I literally spent maybe 10 minutes watching a YouTube video, and I knew how everything lays out. You just like click on each one you want, and then you search through it. Very easy. You saw me do it right here, switching stuff up. So, hope you like this video. We'll see you next time.